Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we are here for the playoff race number 1 of 3 at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Kups and more. And we got a good size field out here. We got our 20 drivers in the field looking to whittle it down to the final 3 in each division. We got 5 in each division currently, as we'll take a look at who those are right now. We got in the Platinum Division, competing in the playoffs is Elwood, Shayne Therrien, Cody Hemingway, Jack Stoneman, and Tommy Rhyne, with 4 of those drivers carrying in some bonus points. Elwood carrying in 20 bonus points for the playoffs here with his 4 wins. Shayne Therrien and Cody Hemingway with 2 wins, and Jack Stoneman with 1. Tommy Rhyne, the only one not with a win here so far this season. In the Gold Division, it is JP Phillips, Sean Verwys, who doesn't look like he's here tonight, and very well could end up being an extra driver that gets put into the Gold here after tonight. Bronson Stafford, Joseph Sullivan, and Jake Loesch. The extra driver would be Kelly Pointer for the Gold Division. In the Silver Division, it is Josh Van Westen, Joey Cruz, Jeff Rhyne, Robert Kenny, and Kevin Foster. And then in the Bronze Division, Dan Phelps, Jon Crain, Daltin Drummonds, Joe Thomas, and Jeremy Gainey are going to be your playoff drivers. And we'll see how they do here tonight. It's not exactly the easiest place to start off the playoffs, as right here to a place that can really do a lot of damage to to anyone's playoffs hopes right off the bat. But looks like qualifying is done. Still waiting for my co-host Jimmy to join me up here in the booth. But give you a rundown of tonight's starting order, and it's going to look like this. On the front row, starting off strong with Elwood, Chad Coleman, Dave Tilford, Dan Phelps make up row number 2. Kevin Foster rounds out your top 5 with a good qualifying effort there. Paul Butler, best qualifying effort of the season, up there in 6th. Tommy Rhyne, Robert Kenny, Tyler Skosen, Jeff Rhyne for your top 10. Joey Cruz, Jeremy Gainey for 11th and 12th. If I hit the right button here, it'd be nice. There we go. Bronson Stafford, Caleb Collins, Daltin Drummonds for your top 15. Kelly Pointer, AJ Roderick, Jon Crain, Luis Orduna, and Joe Thomas for your top 20. Rest of the field is going to be Zane Bierman, Josh Van Westen, Cody Hemingway, Joe Sullivan. Zane Bierman, Josh Van Westen, Cody Hemingway, Joe Sullivan. Did I say Joe Sullivan twice there? I feel like I did. Colin Flickiger, Jack Stoneman, Shayne Therrien, JP Phillips, Grady Gherkin, Jake Loesch, James Molyneux, and Terry Jansen Jr. for your 32-car field. So, again, this is always a track that is survival. It's one that you have to be really smart out here. But now, with it being the first round of the playoffs and only 3 rounds in the playoffs, you got to nail every one of them. You can't really have an off night, and you also have the the potential of win and move on. So you could have, technically a bad first couple rounds and then do well in that 3rd round to get you moved on. I believe I'll have to double check that in the standings here. But I mean, it is crazy. It's 3 quick races here. The top 3 in each division are going to go on to Auto Club to race for the division championship. Still got the overall championships in each of the divisions that are going to play out, but right now it is championship playoff race number 1 here tonight at Talladega, and the field is out there starting their formation lap, and we'll take a look down there right now and see these beautiful cars as they get ready to take 55 laps here at Talladega. And as I've said many times, the first 80% of this race, you just got to survive. You got to find a way to get to the end of this thing and then try and go for it. I mean, we certainly seen last night, the Hold Your Brakes Academy, they went for it. Certainly on the last lap, as there was all kinds of carnage and tons of cars got taken out on that last lap, and we had drivers cross the line in first, but were demoted because of black flags and all kinds of things. Hopefully we don't have any kind of craziness like that out here tonight, but it's going to be a fun one for sure, and want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. We're going to get everything set up here so you know who are the playoff drivers on the timing scoring tower as well. We'll get that set up during the race here, but we got 55 laps to figure it out, and we'll see, again, survives race number 1. Jimmy will be joining us here in a brief moment, but I mean, this is kind of it should be the easiest part of the race. It should be the one that you just shouldn't even have to think about. Just get on the gas, slowly work it up here, work into single file, or stay double file, but give each other plenty of room. There's plenty of width here at Talladega, but it's easier said than done. And we'll see how the drivers handle this thing as we send it over to Barney for tonight's green flag as we are racing here. Playoff round for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Kups and More. Good start for the field as they head off out of turn number 2, down the backstretch, still 2x2. Nothing like the cars zipping by the cameras here at Talladega at full throttle. And we will make it through and complete lap number 1. We got 3 wide back there in the back, but new leader already. It is Dan Phelps starting up there in 4th position. Great qualifying effort for the 85 as he is now your leader out here. Alan Elwood tucking in there in 2nd. Dave Toford, Chad Coleman, Paul Butler for your top 5. Robert Kenny, Kevin Foster, Jeff Rhyne, Tommy Rhyne, and Jeremy Gainey for your top 10. As a little bit of a slow up on the inside line there, some checking up, and looks like everybody's going to settle in. A little bobble in there from Jeremy Gainey in 7th place, but either way, we get this thing off and fired away. We'll get the time and scoring tower up there, and the track map, which all the Skittles all in one place right now, as looks like the only battling back here in the back with JP Phillips already trying to make his way up to the front. He's got Joe Sullivan behind him in that 76, trying to help him on that 3rd line, working his way through right now on the outside of Kelly Pointer. That's a battle for 15th position. All the way on the inside there, the 028 of Joey Cruz. But JP Phillips starting in the back here tonight once again. As long as he has a clean race, he can finally get off the naughty list and be able to qualify up here once again. But I guess if there's any place qualifying doesn't matter too much, it's right here at Talladega. It looks like AJ Ryder going to slide up to that top line now, and they're going to still be 3 wide coming out of the corner. Another one jumping up to the top. Caleb Collins now jumping up to the top in front of AJ Roderick. So already some shuffling around, already some 3 wide, and now even Jeff Rhyne wants a piece of that action on the outside. Certainly a lot more action in the sense that they are 3 wide. It seemed like last night the Holger Bricks Academy, they filed into 2 wide pretty quickly. They were 2 wide here for about a lap, but already 3 wide, and as long as they can hold their lines, it is again plenty wide. You can fit 4 wide, even 5 wide technically, if it gets a little hairy out there. But it is Dan Phelps in the lead, but now charge from Chad Coleman in that middle line, getting pushed from Robert Kenny, and they're going to just crack the front, but Dan Phelps going to get back in the lead by the start-finish line. That outside line starting to work pretty nicely here, and you're going to have the 34 on the outside of the 034 of the 34 there of Jeff Rhyne leading that outside line. Caleb Collins, AJ Roderick, and JP Phillips on the outside line. On that middle line, you got Chad Coleman, you got it's like Tyler Skosen in the middle there, as well as Jeremy Gainey and Kelly Pointer. And then on that inside line, trying to just hold position right now and looking to do so right now. Dan Phelps in the lead. Elwood just kind of hanging back there, maybe saving a little bit of fuel. Doesn't need to fight here right now. As good looking shots right there as they come out of turn number 4 here, down into the tri-oval here one more time. Still 3 wide, still battling. Still Dan Phelps. No, that is going to go to Chad Coleman there, as he's going to pick up the bonus point for leading a lap just by 0.02 of a second. But all in all, good start here to the race. 5 laps already completed here, 50 more to go. Just trying to double check here real quick. The bonus points for qualifying and clean race will still count towards the overall points championship, but will not count towards the playoffs. So that bonus point there for Chad Coleman is going to help out for the overall, but not for the playoffs itself. I did want to double check that. So it is. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it is indeed win and you're in here in the playoff run, and it changes every season. So by the time we get to the playoffs, just kind of need a little refresher, and it is indeed win and you're in as long as you are at all 3 races in the playoff round. So we'll see if any of our championship contenders for any of the divisions gets the win here tonight, locks themselves into the championship by just having to show up in the next 2 races. But already 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 for the majority of the field. A couple cars backing out towards the back. Looks like Kevin Foster kind of leading that pack a little further back right now. Started up in 5th place. Was already shuffling himself back to 25th. Kind of just by himself. Really one of the first cars out of the mayhem. I mean, I know Jimmy's not here, but he's definitely missing the battlefield. You look all the way through the top 23 cars right now, all 3 by 3 by 3. A little check up there in the middle. Jeremy Gainey sliding back here a little bit, and then on the outside, and there we go. There is our first incident of the night, and it's a pretty big one involving quite a few cars. Even the ones that were hanging in the back in the 3 wide eventually does not work out. We'll take a look and see what actually started this one, if it'll stop scrolling me through on SDK. And we'll try and pick apart and see where this might have happened. And it definitely happened up a little further than this. There we go. Okay, let's try this one more time. So it looks like a bad bump there, pushing the pusher, the 4 into the back of the 75. Right there, sandwich, and sends the 75 up the track into the 76, but more importantly into the 78 there as well, and takes out the 55. The 77 gets a piece of it, looks like. Sure, Butler, yeah, Butler got the outside wall there, and you see plenty of mayhem. A lot of cars involved here, and certainly when you get a lot of cars like this, there's a couple instances there within this wreck that I've seen the netcode already get involved. Looks like Kevin Foster is going to walk away with this one with a meatball. Getting involved here pretty late, and a lot of cars wrecked up in this one. So it's going to bring us under our first caution. See if we got any takers into pit road. Once we get back by, Dan Phelps is your leader, as we'll come by pit road right now on lap number 8. And welcome our other man here in the booth, finally getting a chance to get in here. Jimmy, you missed, I would say, probably the big one, probably about 6, 7, 8 cars involved in that one, maybe even more. Brings us under our first caution and first round of pit stops.
Yeah, I mean, either, it's always a big one, especially here with it being the playoffs. Excuse my tardiness here tonight, everybody, but I just had to celebrate a little bit with some cake and ice cream for my wife's birthday today. So the infinite age of 29, as she calls it. So we'll just leave it as that. So,
I was 29, or 25 for years, so I get it. I was 25 for about 15 years, so it's okay.
She's been, we'll put it this way, calling herself 29 for so long now that when I told her her actual age was, she goes, no. I was like, yeah. She was like, no, I thought all this time I thought I was actually a year older. It was a little funny, but she was happy. It was actually a year younger. So, but now we're back here to join everybody back at Talladega. It seems like obviously this being Talladega week out there for the officials and following our schedules. A lot of leagues being here as well. So just getting a chance to catch up. It does look like everybody is getting back and ready to go. I don't have my overlays up, so that should be interesting for a little bit. But looking to see how they do here tonight, Carl. We know that they're out here for 55 laps, so that's still good amount of time left.
One thing they did at that Motor Brakes Academy did do is they decided to go 3 wide pretty quickly here. It was I think right around on lap number 2, and it wasn't just 3 wide here and there. No, it was 3 wide from first all the way back to about 23rd position. So the entire front pack was 3 wide, and towards the back is where we had a push in the pusher situation. It looked like Daltin Drummonds into the back of Kelly Pointer, and that kind of started the whole kerfuffle here to get this first one under caution. But I mean, Jimmy, is there any worse place to start at playoffs than Talladega? I mean, you got 3 races, as I mentioned to the viewing audience out there. You cannot mess up really once. I mean, you can win and you're in as long as you show up to all 3 races. If you win one of them, you move on. But I mean, that's a tall feat when you're looking at the the kind of competition that's out here. So I mean, to start at Talladega, man, whoever makes the schedule is kind of a dick.
I mean, it could be Martinsville.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I guess it could be worse.
I mean, it's only 55 laps. I mean, even last night they were at 60. So and they were over at Hold Your Brakes Academy, geared towards newer drivers, towards iRacing. There's still a lot of good driving out there, and obviously they had a very crazy ending. If you were here with us last night to a race, and obviously because of their voted incident level, a lot of drivers received some black flags, and that really tossed the lineup around. And I even told them today that the amount of incidents that they decided on and voted on as a league was the lowest I've seen ever in any league that we broadcasted. So as Heck told them, just basically good luck. And, they're trying to fight with something that not even the professionals give that low of a limit when it comes to incident points, especially for DQs or penalties. So,
yeah, but 10 sounds like a lot, but it racks up quickly.
Oh my goodness! I mean, you think about it. If you're just bumping and banging, say a light bump here, and you might just get a 2X. Maybe you just tap somebody's bumper too much, or maybe a door slam. Trying to catch it. There's 2X. You bump somebody and they spin, you get a 4X. So I mean, it adds up really quick. Even though you could have a clean car and you can have 8Xs, 9Xs. I tend to, when I'm out there racing officials, I try not to worry about the X's too much, with the exception of trying not to hit the limit, so we don't have a drive-through through the pit lane, because that's what it is for the endurance races. But this is essentially an oval endurance race, so they got to get out there, white knuckle it for 55 laps. Already a few laps in the books already, and looking to get back under green. It does look like Dan Phelps out front, which is good to see. With Alan Elwood, Caleb Collins, Jeff Ryan, and Robert Kenny for your top 5 currently.
Yeah, it's one thing that the super speedways do is it gives some other drivers a chance to get up there and get some laps led. Dan Phelps put in a great qualifying effort, qualifying up there in 4th, but does something that you shouldn't do here at super speedways. Gets a really good jump. We'll see how the cars behind him treat him, as Caleb Collins catching up right now on the inside line. See if he's going to stay in line or maybe try to jump to the outside in front of Alan Elwood. He's going to stay in line here and follow Dan Phelps. Alan Elwood leading that second line, as looks like it is Robert Kenny right behind him there, and then AJ Roderick. Good to see him back out here in the field tonight as well, and I'm sure loving that hit promotion on the first one there. But 2x2 here, as most of the field sticking out there 2x2. We got a 3 wide back a little bit further in the pack, but that looks like he's going to settle down here as Shayne Therrien going to fall back here a little bit. But I'm not sure how many cars had to take a fast repair. Certainly Kevin Foster, I know a fan favorite out there, but he did have a meatball on that first incident, and he definitely had to use his fast repair already, so I'm sure maybe going to be a little tentative for the rest of this race. But now Alan Elwood takes over the top spot. He qualified in first, lost it pretty quickly here to Dan Phelps, but now the 5 back out front.
And AJ going to go, obviously stick behind the 34, and this is kind of what happens here, early on, and Alan Elwood's got to rely on that 85 to push him, and obviously we're used to kind of seeing Dan Phelps more in the middle of the pack, so being up here, having that opportunity to kind of race around some of these platinum drivers is good experience. Just has to be careful that he doesn't make a mistake and maybe push them out for a championship here. So you see Dan maybe not as comfortable on that back bumper of the 5, as being followed very closely by the 72 of Caleb Collins. And they obviously, Caleb doesn't want to get up there too much. They're working really hard right now, Carl. I mean, it's super early here in the race, and obviously seeing a little bobbing back and forth. And Phelps is not right on the bumper, so that's why you can see that car moving a little bit. So we'll see how comfortable Alan is down there, or if he'll move down. I don't know if Alan will move down out of the way. I think he likes to be up front. Less chance of getting involved in an incident normally. But when you got some newer drivers up there with maybe a little less experience in this pack racing, it could, not that it will, it could cause a disaster. But here we are here now on lap number 14. Alan Elwood on the bottom here leading the way, but it is Jeff Rhyne on that outside, just nosing him out there this time by. So they're battling for that lead, but 2x2 until you get to about the 6th row there, Carl, and then they are 3 wide for a couple rows. And
Bronson Stafford made some moves there to go through the middle and then get to the top side in front of Cody Hemingway. And now they are linked up and running fast down the backstretch here into turn number 3. And you see how quickly, when 2 cars get hooked up, they can move up through the field. They were back there battling for 15th. All of a sudden, they're up there battling for 6th by the end of the backstretch. And you see Shayne Therrien out there as well. And so is Kelly Pointer, a good teammate there for Dan Phelps, trying to get up there and help his buddy out. But coming to the line this time by, it's going to be Jeff Rhyne leading another lap, but only just, as Stafford now up alongside on the outside. And once again, Jimmy, this is pretty much what you missed right here. It's 3x3x3 here once again. And I mean, these drivers, it's a lot of laps here to go. It's 55 laps here tonight, but Cody Hemingway blinking out there a little bit. But it's the playoffs. I mean, everything is just inched up a little bit more.
I'm not in that mess.
You just got to crank it up a little bit more.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the draft, and obviously, some of the drivers a little bit farther back behind the 2 wide, 3 wide kind of debacle there for your top 15, 16 drivers. Keep an eye on that very closely. You see Tommy Ryan back there, kind of down to the bottom inside. I'm sure he's watching those few on the outside and seeing how it works out and how long they can hold it there. It's a lot, Carl. The white knuckle and manage that car, manage your left, manage your right. Don't float the car. Maybe the front driver obviously got to stay in it, but the drivers behind in that draft will get a little more speed, and they have to manage the throttle just a little bit so they don't push out into that outside line. I think that's what you're kind of seeing there by the 85, obviously, and he's going to need to breathe every now and then, so you'll probably see him step out every now and then, get some air across the front nose of that 85. He needs to kind of hold that there, but just keep holding that yellow line. I'm just watching the 85 closely. I know what it's like to be in that position and try to keep that car down, but you want to push as hard as you can to kind of keep the 5 out front, and then keep the Alan Elwood happy up there as he's got a good lead going on, and hoping for a great finish here tonight to maybe work on that championship. And you get talked about it earlier. This is kind of like a wild card race. You know, a lot of different drivers can win here. Pretty much every day. As long as you're on the lead lap, there's always a chance. We've seen somebody come from, I think it was P like 10 or 12 last night, and they actually won the race because of incidents and wrecks and X's and flags and all that kind of stuff. So it can happen, but it also is very possible to go from the back to the front. But 3 wide now for about 5 rows, Carl. Well, at least 4. There's 4 drivers on the outside riding that high line. I think they're just kind of riding around out there, just kind of seeing, testing the waters. Maybe you want to get up front eventually, but right now just kind of seeing how it works and how long it'll take. I mean, with the drivers, with the skill level that we have here, there's a lot of, a lot of platinum drivers, a lot of gold drivers, and that have experience here. So, yeah, I can see this happening. As long as they're not trying to push 4 wide right now, because that takes a special talent around here. Between all drivers are 4 abreast, so we'll see. Interesting to watch here how this race ends up as we are now on lap 19.
Well, you mentioned this kind of being a wild card race. Hold that thought as we got some issues
I think it's good
here, and looks like Dan Phelps.
There's Phelps and Collins.
And Phelps getting shuffled back here, and I think that was, not sure if that was a bump gone wrong or if that was just clipping the apron here. Looks like Dan Phelps is going to end up with a meatball on this one. Oh, blew the engine. That's what it was. That is the meatball. Staying behind the 5 too long, blew the engine. Unfortunately, nothing that Caleb Collins could do in that instant right there. Gotta pay attention to the temperatures, and oh man, that is not expected.
The D key on the keyboard. If your drivers can't because there's so much visual space on monitors. A lot of times when drivers are out there, Carl, they can't see that water temperature meter. So iRacing has put in a HUD so you can press it. It's not the most good-looking thing in the world, but if you don't have a steering wheel or the digital layouts or anything like that, you can hit the D button. I believe is a default. It brings up the dashboard, which will give you your water temperatures, oil temperatures, simple things like that kind of help those decisions, whether to back off, to poke your nose out. But yeah, knowing that, Carl, knowing that the nose is blowing, that's just kind of tough break there. As Dan Phelps was having a pretty good run.
He was. It was a great qualifying effort, fantastic run up to this point, but that's what can happen if you're not paying attention to everything that car is doing, and it's what can happen when you're following too close for too long and not letting that car breathe. And that's why you see, sometimes even teammates will, make it seem like they're leaving their teammate out to dry by jumping to another line, but really they just have to get some clean air on the front of that car. You see right there, AJ Roderick peeking that nose out down below the 5 of Alan Elwood, not to look for a pass, just to get some clean air. But Tilford is going to get sent around, and that's going to bring out a yellow here onto the front stretch. And it looked like it was Cody Hemingway also involved in that one. Some pieces flying and bouncing down the track as well. That's going to bring us under a second caution, and we'll take a look and see what happened on this one. And I'm thinking the same thing, maybe a bump draft gone wrong. It looks like the 12 drifts up the track, kind of opens that middle, and then last second decides to come back down, but the 010 was already there. And it's going to spin down in front of Kelly Pointer here. Gets involved in this one. The 138 Chad Coleman gets into that one as well. The 73 Louise Arduna locking it up, but nothing he could do. He was already kind of committed to right where he was. He's the one that loses the hood right there. And certainly quite a few others getting involved here.
Joey Cruz sneaking through there. If you ride on board with Joey, you watch what happens as he barely makes it by. But tough break for a few of them drivers. And yeah, just that's how fast the draft works, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that fast where you make a split decision when something's open, and maybe just got the call, as maybe he just nudged that wheel to the left just a little bit, and have that spin. So.
That was insane right there, just riding on board with Joey Cruz, as you mentioned. We'll take a look from a different view now for for Joey Cruz and show you from the outside here as we just rode on board to show you what he went through to get through that, and without touching anybody. What you want to talk about the seas parting for you? That was a gift, maybe about 7 gifts in one right there. I think if he had a cat, he's spent about 8 of his lives on that one right there. But gonna bring another caution, another round of green flag pit stop or yellow flag pit stops here. Everybody into the pits. Yeah, for Joey, absolutely, yeah. But
yeah, I mean, that's what the drivers. That's why a lot of times, you know, we talk to drivers like, hey, you just when the caution flies, like let off and like try to avoid and stuff. But I didn't listen to the motor because I was watching it in the slow mode there because I'm independent here from Carl at the moment. But yeah, that is like almost picture perfect, almost like take a Days of Thunder shot, and it's exactly what you're seeing there. It's almost it's just amazing how Cruz is able to kind of get through there.
The field all coming in here, getting another pit stop done here. They're still going to need to make one more pit stop before the end of this thing, but already close to halfway, getting there a couple more laps here under caution. But it looks like Elwood is going to be your leader. I think the 75 right there of Kelly, or that's I'm sorry, Dan Phelps, going to try and get a lap back here, and that'll put him 1 lap down here once he gets the wave around, since he is ahead of the pack, and is definitely the move that he's got to make here. It'll get him into that lucky dog position for the next time by, and he's just got to kind of keep it clean and hope another caution comes out to get him back on the lead lap. It's clearly a fast number 85 out here. Love to get back up there for the race just in itself, but you know, came in as kind of the favorite in the bronze division. And Jimmy, you mentioned it before, right before we got the caution here. You talked about this kind of being a wild card race, and what we've seen so far this season, Platinum drivers dominating. The Platinum drivers have pretty much tallied up every single win here so far this season. So, you know, the gold drivers, the silver drivers, the bronze drivers, they look at Talladega as, you know what, if I could sneak a win here, there's a good chance that, my fellow competitors are not going to do anything to kind of knock me out of that championship spot. And if I get a win here, all I have to do is show up. The next 2 races, I'm locked into the championship. So this is a golden opportunity for the gold, silver, and bronze drivers to maybe get one up here on the platinum drivers. But the platinum drivers are feeling the same thing. If they can get in here, they can breathe a little bit those next 2 races, and it's not exactly that much easier after Talladega here tonight. 3 completely different tracks here in the playoff round, as we got Talladega here tonight. Then we head to the desert for 90 laps at Phoenix, and then right next door to Texas for another 90 laps. Or, I'm sorry, 90 laps. I was right. So, I mean, 3 completely different tracks. You got the 2.5-mile Superspeedway here. You got the 1-mile Phoenix, and then the 1.5-mile Auto of Texas. So, yeah, be very interesting before we get to that beautiful 2-mile Auto Club for the championship here once again. The place that we certainly love to go to anytime, but it's kind of been the staple now for a couple seasons here in the Core Xfinity series for the championship round, and really no better because you can go 3, 4, 5 wide. I think you can probably go 10 wide there if you really want to. It's just a beautiful facility out there, or at least a former facility that is now torn down. But we're about to tear these covered back off the cars here and get back on the loud pedal, as Alan Elwood is going to be your control car at the front. Jeff Rhyne, Jeremy Gainey, AJ Roderick, Bronson Stafford for your top 5, James Molyneux, Chad Coleman, Joey Cruz, Shayne Therrien, and Jack Stoneman for your top 10. But we still got quite a few drivers up there. We got 31 cars still on the lead lap, and then just the one lone. Dan Phelps, unfortunately, 1 lap down, but now in lucky dog position at the back of this pack. Pace car is off. We're going to get this thing back underway, and it is going to be the start of lap number 25. So we'll have 31 more laps to go. Still plenty of time to get in line, get your good spot here, and kind of get some popcorn and a beverage here, because we're back to racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, back on the green here, and we watched the last restart there, with these big jumps here, and Alan's we're going to see a little different here with Alan Elwood out here to lead, and outside not quite as put together here, so the inside's going to be able to stay together, and I don't think Alan's going to have any too big of an issue as the outside line to kind of maybe freight train on outside. But what a lot of drivers like to do, Carl, when they get down inside, if they happen to get a large enough restart and the lines are a little bit slower, you'll see them go down into turns 1 on the bottom, and as they exit and the outside line is gaining momentum, they will slide up to that outside line to gain or to basically get pushed into not lose that lead, and then get back out front and then drop back down to the bottom. I see it over and over and over again from a lot of the higher iRating drivers, but they see Gainey looking out, not comfortable, maybe behind the 5, gets a little tapped there by the 34, will push into the corner, so we'll keep it straight in there and get a nose out before Jim Gainey looking to get a lap left here. Currently outside with the 34 pushing, and the 56 of Roderick not far behind. He's right there as well.
Yeah, Gainey, one of those platinum or bronze drivers that is in the playoff hunt. One of those 5 bronze drivers, as Luis are doing, trying to go 3 wide to the outside there of Molyneux, try and catch up to AJ Roderick, who's also running on that outside. Getting a little bit testy here, but I mean, they're not wasting any time going 3 wide here. Again, barely get a lap or 2 in, and already back to 3 wide racing. And now Cody Hemingway, who's certainly up in a slouch to go on that outside, jumps out there here once again, trying to lead the charge, as looks like Orduna has fallen back in line. Now AJ Roderick going to line up behind Cody Hemingway and see if they can push their way to the front. Alan Elwood still leading the way on the inside. Bronson Stafford in second. We got Jeremy Gainey getting pushed by Jeff Rhyne in the middle, and then Tommy Rhyne right behind him as well. So a little brotherly duo behind Jeremy Gainey in there in the middle, as Tommy Rhyne was looking to the outside there. Kinda, maybe, sorta. And there we go. Now he's going to the outside, and he's going to have Cody Hemingway trying to get up there and catch him.
Yeah, I think he's seen Cody, I've seen Tommy kind of come from the outside, drop down in the middle right behind his brother there for a few laps. I think he was waiting for his brother to step out and follow him, but 66 had the momentum, and figured to take that 10's that momentum on the outside. So 2 cars hanging there. They got a few drivers come up on that outside looking to get up to the front, so a lot of them feeling that momentum here. You can just see the inside lines and just a little bit more put together than the outside at the moment. So only 2 cars out there. I think they need about 3 that they got right now as Jeff Ryan steps out. Oh, gets a little push there by Tommy. Makes it 3 wide up here for 2nd place. And now the Jeremy Gainey being in a vulnerable position there in the middle here. See how everybody handles this here. Is a little bumping around here. Just to, you got to be careful of who your drivers are around there and the experience that they have. But able to kind of keep things going. A little bit of wobbling there by the 34. Was that the 34 or the 34? Oh, 34.
It's one of them. Yeah, I mean, it's there's still plenty of time. I mean, they're certainly enjoying the 3 wide here. It's making me nervous for sure. But so far it's working out. But man, it is it's tight. It's tight up here at the front, and it's now like it's battling back here at the back. The battlefield is the front of the field right now, as Alan Elwood still sticking out there in front, trying to run away from any potential danger behind him. And so far, so good.
Okay, that center line is definitely lined up right now with some newer drivers into ovals. So enjoying their time up front here, but 94, obviously, we know him as a road racer. He's got to get that thing under control and control the entries into the corners. And I talked about it early here, and just the outside, just not getting the run that they need, and maybe just kind of sitting there with that middle line, but they need to get together and either, I mean, not wreck, but go ahead and, there's so much movement by the 94, and, you know, get together and either pass the middle lane or drop behind them and let things happen. But I think with all the bobbing and weaving from the center lane, they'd like to just kind of get around. Malino kind of coming up near the 34th. Jeff Rhyne so place to watch here is Alan Elwood out front with Bronson Stafford knowing how to get things done, and then you got the 138 of Chad Coleman tagging in behind as well. So more of a veteran driver here as well in that Kit Kat machine. But Malino having issues handling that car coming down in those high-speed corners, trying to keep it steady to kind of keep that draft going. You can see how they're losing momentum. Even the side draft is not working as a lot of that momentum's going away. And you can see drivers kind of falling behind in that middle lane to keep it too wide. But look away or something when they come in these corners.
We're going to do more than look away. We're going to step away here as we pass the halfway point, and we're going to go ahead and go under a little siren. Love to hear it. back racing here at the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Kups and more. You've seen the incident there on the start on the backstretch. Got a few drivers up here. We're back racing here. Shayne Therrien decided not to come into the pits. He wanted the track position to get up front there. Elwood led them out of the pits, and now he leads them on the backstretch, and he's going to dive right down in front of his teammate. Leave Chad Coleman on the outside to try and run up there and get himself a spot. Got everything cleaned up now finally for everyone in the viewing. Oh, the answers, that was bobbing back and forth back there. As you can see now who the drivers are that are in the playoffs for each of their respective divisions, and then who are out here still running for the overall positions in each of the divisions, but just want to clean it up so you can see who the playoff drivers are for the silver, gold, bronze, and platinum division. As right now, we got 2 platinum drivers up towards the front. You see right there, Cody Hemingway coming back out there. He's 3 laps down, but you never know. I mean, you never know what happens the rest of the way here as Weezer doing it now, comes in to serve his black flag. But out front, Elwood leads it here with Chad Coleman, Shayne Therrien, Jeff Rhyne, Jeremy Gainey, and for your top 5, AJ Roderick as Shayne Therrien sent down to the bottom, back up there in front of Jeremy Gainey. As continuing through the top 10, you got Tyler Skozen, Joe Sullivan, Tommy Rhyne, and Bronson Stafford for your top 10, but still plenty of time here. We're inside 20 laps to go right now as Tommy Rhyne now looks to make it 3 wide here on the outside. And you can see once it starts to get closer racing side by side is when the issues kind of come into play. And you see that on the backstretch with AJ Roderick getting into the other side there of Jamie Molyneux on the last one. Not sure if it was AJ sliding up, if it was Molyneux sliding down, maybe both meeting in the middle. We'll let the admins figure that out after the race here. But as it stands right now, we got the leader out there, Chad Coleman, leading in. You got AJ Roderick on the outside, and some new faces starting to make their way up towards the front, towards the end of this thing. At the line, we're going to have 15 laps to go.
Yeah, 3 wide up here, and obviously Tommy getting involved there just a little bit, but working that outside line and pushing stuff. And I was getting a nice push there by Kelly Pointer that was involved in an earlier incident as well. I see JP Phillips starting to poke his nose up there. That outside line looking strong if they can get it going there. 67 jumping out to join them. 72 of Killer Collins. Right? Yeah. Yes. It's been a while since I've seen Caleb out there.
Yes.
In the mix there as well. Playoffs are well underway, Carl. Obviously, things are heating up here. We're coming down towards the end of the race. I think Shayne is saving fuel, maybe, or trying to. I worry about his fuel level. I don't know if he has enough in that 9 to make it to the end, but probably, a caution is likely. We'll just put it that way. As you can see right now, no matter where Carl's looking, they're pretty much 3 wide for the whole field.
Yeah, exactly. It is close and testy for sure. Leading the line on the inside is Chad Coleman. Leading that middle line is AJ Roderick. Leading the outside line is Tommy Rhyne. But it's your guess to where everybody is in regards to position all the way through this field. One thing that this caution did help out, it helped out that 85. As Dan Phelps is back on the lead lap now. Charging back up on that outside line as Phillips into the wall a little bit. And looked like Cruz into the wall a little bit as well. Gonna keep it going here. And lost a little bit of time, but all things considered, didn't lose too much out here. Hopefully didn't get a damaged car at all from that, but it's starting to dance around here a little bit late in this race. Everybody trying to get that side draft working. Still plenty of time though. Still gonna just settle in, but one thing you are seeing though, you take a look at those standings. Again, only 3 drivers from each division are gonna make the championship round. Cody Hemingway, Jack Stoneman, the 2 platinum drivers, dead last and second last right now. Talladega did not treat them well. I mean, Cody Hemingway still out there in the track. Stoneman looks like his night is done. Maybe something can happen for Hemingway. They can maybe pick up some more positions if some other cars rack out, but not the way that these platinum drivers want to start the playoffs.
Yeah, and just trying to get that outside line together, that last little check up there for a few of the drivers. You just have to be careful. It's about, when you're following pack. Obviously, you're so close together, and you're trying to follow. It's about, you know, letting off that, especially when you're right in the draft, you're modulating the throttle. You don't have to have the thing mashed to the ground. You see the 67, you know, really close to Kelly Pointer, so Kelly's kind of pulled off that back bumper of Tommy off of Tommy Rhyne just a little bit in order to, you know, if he receives that push there from the 67.
You're going to have an issue in the back of the pack here. Kind of caught the tail end of it there. Not sure exactly what happened. Cars mixed up in this one here as well, though. It happened in front of Jake Loesch here. Oh, right there it was Molyneux into the side of Grady Gherkin. Zane Bierman gets a piece of it. Joey Cruz looks like he gets on by, but you see Jake Loesch kind of getting pinched up there with James Molyneux. 4 of Daltin Drummonds sneaks on by. And looks like Joe Thomas in the 218, as he's out here tonight, sneaks on by there as well. And you see Dan Phelps locking it up to avoid any kind of issues there. And he's going to make it on through. We'll take a look at this here one more time and coming out of the corner, but looked like it was the 94. Slipping up there, up the track a little bit. We'll see if Grady Gherkin comes down at all. But either way, these are the two that end up starting this this incident right here, and is coming off a 2, and right there you can see the 94 just pushes straight up out into the outside quarter, or the inside quarter panel there of the 46, and starts this wreck. Now this could help out Shayne Therrien make his way to the end. He hit a lap number 22. 33 laps is still a long way to go on fuel. It's a long stint there for the 9, but I think he's valuing that track position and maybe thinking it's coming towards the end of the race. There's probably going to be some more yellows out here as we go back to the line this time. It's going to be 10 laps to go.
Yeah, 10 laps to go, and obviously he's in control of the car, so you know, obviously once that track position, get a good finish here, give himself that chance to make the better chance to make the playoffs here. You see up front right now it is Chad Coleman, I think.
It is, yes.
Right. Yep. Chad Coleman. Yep. He's slowing down, waiting for the pace car. I was like, where's he at? Because I'm looking at the pace car. Yeah, Chad Coleman, Jeff Ryan having a great run. AJ Roderick up there, Tyler Skozen, Tommy Ryan, and Alan Elwood kind of all in there. So a lot of battling going on between some of the platinum drivers and actually, you know, obviously the whole league here as tonight, opening night for the playoffs. First lap of 3, or yeah, first lap of 3. First race of 3. Wow. You can tell I started late.
You got this. You got this, buddy.
But you know, it's going to be crazy here all the way to the end. We're on lap 46, so only a few laps remaining here, and it takes about a lap and a half to get the cars really wound up. You want to be up towards the front. You're going to see a lot of these drivers that have just came down. The Josh Van Westen, the Shayne Therrien, Robert Kenny, Dave Tilford, Paul Butler, Bronson Stafford, Jon Crain, Kevin Foster, Daltin Drummonds, James Molyneux, Zane Bierman, Grady Gherkin, Jake Loesch. If they want to get a chance for a good finish here, you're going to see a lot of pushing. So being, you know, in the battlefield, aka the middle of the, you know, the field, is a very dangerous place to be. And even being up front here can be a very dangerous place to be. We talk about being in the lead, you know, towards the, you know, the ending, the last few laps of the race. You know, who's your friends out there? Do you have somebody that's going to push you? Are you around a team of, you know, that is kind of running together? And, you know, you might be the one out of that, you know, helpful push to the end, and you might slide back. But as long as everything's kept clean, you should get a good finish. So just kind of hold your line. If you find yourself in that situation with no friends coming out of turn number 4, and it's that long run down to the start-finish line.
Well, what I'm seeing, Jimmy, I'm seeing kind of 3 different storylines here at the front. I got 2 drivers right now, actually 3 in the top 4 that are not playoff drivers. Yeah, Chad Coleman, AJ Roderick, and Tyler Skozen looking to play spoiler out here tonight. Remember we talked about win and you're in? Well, if nobody in the playoffs wins, no one claims that spot. And then we go 5-5-5-5 again still at the next race. but you have AJ Roderick as one of them. Does he go for the win? He hasn't been out here that much this season. Finally gets a chance to get out here and mixed up with the boys tonight. Does he go for the win? Or does he help one of his teammates out to try and get the win and lock themselves in? Do we see Jeff Rhyne, Silver Division driver, sneak up here? He's been up there all night long and qualified well to get himself up there in the top 10 and riding up there in the top 5 pretty much the entire night here so far. Can he sneak through and not only lock himself in for the Silver Division, but be a real staple win for his core career as well, and carry some momentum into championship finale? Or will we see one of the Platinum drivers move their way up? Tommy Rhyne now up there in 5th. You got Alan Elwood has been up there the entire race. Kelly Pointer now starting to slowly move his way forward, as is Joe Sullivan in the Gold Division. This is very well up for grabs, as Talladega pretty much always is, but could we have a spoiler out there with one of these non-playoff drivers sticking it to the playoff drivers, saying, well, you guys can have the playoffs, we're going to steal your wins?
And, it's, that's what I'd be doing. Obviously you work with your team to a certain point, and then the gloves are off, and the gloves are pretty much off altogether once, they hit turn number 4 coming down that straightaway. And, unless that team is committed to pushing a certain driver, and not all of them are, and they might throw some sort of crazy move with a run and try to make it stick there, and that's where you start to see the big one happens, coming out of the last corner and, trying to get that position. But these drivers are hungry. They want to get their playoffs started correctly with a good finish, possibly a win, so they could just kind of relax the next few races. It's a crapshoot here at Talladega. Plenty of chances for a lot of drivers to get up there and win. And, if you're looking at the first 5 rows, those 10 drivers might not be your winner. It could be somebody back in 11th, 13th row that stays back just a little bit to kind of wait or hope that big one happens, and they can work their way through and sneak a quick win. But we're going to get going back on the green here soon, as the pace car is off, heading down towards the Geico restart zone. I think it's Geico still on this track. As they're down past the Coca-Cola sign. It's United Rose, but go back here in a nice easy start here by the 138, 56 on the outside with the 55 and 66. So good start here, nice and smooth for the front.
Yeah, and we talk about being in the right spot at the right time. You want to be the one that, at the end of the race, you're the one playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. But the problem is with Talladega, you got to worry about the ones that are playing trouble and playing sorry, because they're going to send you home. Whether you want to or not, they can collect you up in any kind of mix here. Exactly. Shoots and ladders all the way down, as down below the apron is not what you want to do. And it's like a little bobble there is going to force Joey Cruz up there to the top in front of Shayne Therrien. Now Shayne's going to leave him out to dry on the outside, as Jeremy Gainey going to follow Cruz. But coming back to the line here, it's going to be 7 laps to go. It is still plenty of time to get in the right spot at the right time. Almost 4 wide there, some bobbing and weaving back in the pack. I don't think the cautions are quite done just yet, but Chad Coleman trying to run away and hide here at the front. AJ Roderick leading that middle line. Kelly Pointer trying to get that top line running, as with Sean Verwys not here tonight. He is your 5th driver in the Silver Division playoffs, so kind of getting a gift there from Sean Verwys and trying to get up there and gift himself a win.
56 goes and getting 56 shot there, getting a nice little push to try to get that center line momentum. The outside looking good here. They just got to be careful, obviously. When you're on that outside, you're almost staring at that left side, making sure that the inside guy's staying down there and giving yourself a little bit of room to react so you're not running the wall, but hoping that the drivers behind you aren't trying to take you 4 wide. A little early for 4 wide yet, Carl. They're on lap number 50, a few more laps to go, but anything can happen here. As you can see, Pointer was almost clear of the 56, not quite, but just trying to get that spot and maybe move down 1 spot and be in a little better position here with a lot of drivers. But everybody is so tight right now. You talk about don't push the pusher. It's almost hard not to at the moment.
You're right on board here with Jon Crain, and you wonder what rush hour traffic looks like at 195 miles an hour. And you're getting a look right here, right through the middle, and a good job checking up on that that last time into turn one as the drivers got a little bit loose in front of them. But this is not a spot that I envy. I'm definitely happy to be up here in the booth and watching this race. I'm right up here, enjoying it right here in the booth. But this thing is far from over. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. You name it. Everybody mixed together right here at the front. Can they survive all the way to the end, though, is the question. We still got another 5 laps left here at Talladega. Coleman leads the inside line. You got AJ Roderick on the middle line, and then on the outside line is Kelly Pointer, as it is getting a little bumpy from all the cars up here at the front, trying to work their way up through there. Question is, when will we see 4 wide, Jimmy? Because you know it's probably not too far around the corner. But it is coming off of the turn, and how about the move there from Scozen to the outside in front of Kelly Pointer. And you want to take a look at what it looks like to see that many cars go by that quickly. There's the field right there. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that right there, as you blink and all 31 cars go by you right there, and that shows you what 30 cars right now, or 29 cars plus the lap cars mixed in there, but it's all within 1.5 seconds of each other. 1.5 seconds between front to back. That's insane here, as we got 4 laps to go at Dega.
Yeah, and obviously some Tommy trying to get some momentum there for the 56 and possibly get him out front so he can get himself in a good position here. You do have that outside line just doesn't seem to quite have the momentum yet here, Carl. They do get a good run coming out of 4, but it's not big enough currently. Kelly Pointer's really going to have to work that from the back end of the 55 in order to push the outside line just a little bit quicker out of those initial corners. So, but we still have a couple laps to go. We're on lap 53, so 2 more laps to go here as this thing is really winding down. It's a burner out there. It's hectic. It's white knuckle. Hopefully the drivers are breathing. And we'll check up there in the middle.
Yep. Yeah, actually 3 laps to go as we head down the backstretch here. Okay. And it is side by side with AJ Roderick. And I said before, the middle line is really technically where you want to be, because that side draft is so big late in these races. If you want to try and make your way up through the front, if you see the inside line is a little bit ahead of you, you can get the side draft off of them. You see the outside lines going, get a side draft off of them. And that's where I think AJ Roderick is in a prime position right now. As long as the line stays behind him. You see Tommy Rhyne had an opportunity there. He could have slid up on the outside. Grady Gherkin in a wreck and jumps right into the pits. So we're going to stay green here as Gherkin, not sure what happened to him, but we're going to keep it live up here at the front. You see that outside line just falling back here a little bit. Pointer now into the back of the 55, trying to get him going here down the backstretch. We got about 3 miles left in this race. Will we see any difference at the front? Right now we got Coleman, Roderick, non-playoff drivers leading this thing, but you know right there, Kevin Foster now involved in a wreck, and that's going to bring out the yellow flag. Coming back to the line, everybody's got to slow up. We got green, white checker here for playoff race number 1.
Yeah, late caution here. It's going to throw the momentum off. I was wondering, I was holding my breath, hoping to get back to that start-finish line for the last lap, but not going to happen here tonight. So green, white checker in effect here, so it's going to be crazy, Carl.
So here's what happened to Grady Gherkin as, it looks like Zayden Bierman in the side of Luis Orduna. Somehow that didn't bring out the caution. Kevin Foster gets involved in that one. And then Grady Gherkin jumps right in the pits. I'm surprised that wasn't a caution, though, because 3 cars involved right there. And then we'll see what happened to Kevin Foster here, as it looks like he just stops on the track, and that ends up bringing out a yellow here late. So certainly will be talked about for sure, but it is Tommy Rhyne shown as your leader, as he must have just inched ahead. And I'll have to take a look at that itself, because I didn't see Tommy getting the run. He was second in line last I was looking, unless He's out of position right now.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, now he is sliding back there. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so it is going to be Chad Coleman in the lead. AJ Roderick, Tommy Rhyne, Jeff Rhyne, Alan Elwood for your top 5. Tyler Skozen, Alan Flickiger, Joe Sullivan, Kelly Pointer, and Josh Van Westen for your top 10. But I mean, does everybody have enough fuel to go green, white, checkered here? They should.
If you hop on board with any of them, they are clutching.
They should be fine. I mean, they picked here on lap 36 for the most of them, if not later on lap 44 plus. So it should be good to go. But yeah, it's just another little wrinkle that we could throw into there. Why not? But man, Jimmy, these drivers, they got 2 attempts at a green, white, checkered here tonight. This is going to be attempt number 1. Will we be able to get back to the line this first time? It didn't take them long to go 3 wide. They're going to want to go 3 wide here right away.
Yeah, and we've seen some good starts there by Chad Coleman, obviously, and AJ's been a good super speedway runner. Has won a few of those himself not too long ago, but it's good to have him out here. So just a barrel of talent up front right now, and obviously everybody doing what they need to do to make sure they have enough fuel. I'm hearing engines off. I mean, not even like not even on, like just pushing in the clutch. I'm talking off.
It's like Cody Hemingway getting 1 of his laps back. He's going to be still 2 laps down, but maybe be able to pick up 1 or 2 more spots from cars crashing out here late. But certainly not the start of the playoffs for Cody Hemingway, coming off the win last week to give him 2 wins coming into the playoffs. But going to be losing a lot of points to his platinum competition here. As right now, Tommy Rhyne up there in 4th, Alan Elwood in 5th, Shayne Therrien just outside the top 10, right there in 11th. But I'm sure we'll see Shayne try to move that 09 up a little bit further before this thing is over. But it's been pretty good one out here tonight. All things considered, it's Talladega. We started with 32 cars. Looks like we still got 29 of them running out there. So, I mean, realistically, Jimmy, it's not really that bad of a start in the playoffs.
No, I think obviously they're we're able to get through some of those incidents. Obviously, the fast repair helps. Correct at least one of those mistakes. Right now, I know the drivers are probably worried about fuel, making sure they have enough so they can go all out, Carl, and not be trying to coast and get those runs to the best of their ability. That's what you see drivers down on the apron, trying to run a little bit shorter of a track. It is obviously much shorter on the bottom than it is the top. But they're down there just kind of coasting and taking their time here, trying to keep up with the pace car. But it's going to be a good one, I think, here to the end. If another green-white checker comes out, it might be a whole new ball game there, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, then it's going to be next flag ends it if we get to that second green-white checker. But this is our first attempt, hopefully, and only attempt here tonight. But we are overtime racing here. 55 laps wasn't enough to start the playoffs here for the Corks Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Cups and more. And while we have a chance here, might as well take care of our sponsor duties and give the readout. If I can hit the right button here, that'd be nice. There we go. As Kim's Cups and More is your one-stop shop for all your apparel needs. Whether it's a custom 20-ounce tumbler to fill with your favorite post-race beverage, a 40-ounce glitter tumbler for your morning coffee after you're up all night celebrating that win, or custom clothing apparel with your favorite team sponsor, maybe your favorite broadcasters, wink, wink, a custom license plate for your everyday ride, even mouse pads to help you rearrange that pesky new UI. You can choose from already created products or have them custom made to your liking, whatever your pleasure. Kim's Cups and More has it all. Check them out on Facebook today. That's Kim's Cups with a K and more. Jimmy, it's about to be the restart here. First time for green, white, checkered. Again, hopefully the only one for green, white, checkered here tonight. But, man, this is, it's going to be crazy. I mean, they were 3 wide racing pretty much right away on every restart here It only took maybe a lap till they got wound back up, but heading back to the restart zone, Chad Coleman going to lead him back to the green flag. As we wait to go through the tri-oval and back to the United Rentals restart zone. Coleman back on the loud pedal, and we are back to racing here at Talladega.
Got a green here, and as watch this field line the cars back up as it takes a lap and a half already. Some cars are going to be outside to get that momentum going.
Too wide until you get to the back half of the top 10, but then already some cars looking to go 3 wide as you got Caleb Collins going through the middle because the outside line not working just yet. The 121 tried to get the outside line going, and now we do have the outside line going with Tyler Skosen peeking to the outside, leading it out there. So we got Coleman, Roderick, and Skosen, your 3 line leaders right now, but that outside line just not going 4 wide towards the back. That's not going to work out, and that's going to be another caution here at the back of the pack, and that's what can happen. It's just 4 wide. It's wide enough, but it's not really. It's got to be smart, but it's going to cause a wreck that takes out, looks like Jon Crain involved in that one. JP Phillips had to tow back to the pits. Looks like Jake Loesch involved in that one as well. Take a look back and see what started this one. Jeremy Gainey and the outside there. And maybe a little bit, a lot of bit of net code there between the 11 and the 78. And that's what started right there. So net code between Jon Crain and JP Phillips, and then some heavy impact there from the 218 and the 77 getting into the side of the 78 of JP Phillips. And looks like Terry Jansen, Cody Hemingway just can't catch a break here tonight at all. As
he's all the way down there next to the wall.
And he still got clipped. Jon Crain, JP Phillips walking away with a meatball on this one. Gonna bring out another late race caution, and we're gonna be down now to our final green-white checkered here tonight.
Yeah, final green-white checker. If the caution were to happen, that's it. Where they line up is where they'll finish. Obviously not what the drivers want to come down to, but now is the question of fuel. Who needs to come down? Who saved enough? Who can save enough? We're about to find out. They gotta go around here at least twice. The lights are on the pace car. Gotta pick them up this time by.
I see.
And then
there's a couple cars coming into the pits, and there's a lot of cars on that apron, I think, trying to save every little bit of fuel, because we're going to be going double overtime here tonight.
Yeah, and everybody's going to, there's other people that are going to stay out, but like I said, everybody that's up there right now, Coleman, Roderick, Rhyne, the Rhynes, Elwood, Collins, Colin, Shayne Therrien, Westen, and Cruz, I'm sure they're just all trying to do the best they can to make sure they got enough fuel. And I would not be surprised if they have to run it as hard as they can. They will run it out to the very last ounce of fuel, and we might see a spit and a sputter and possibly an incident coming around. I guess the best thing they can hope for up front is that they race very hard in the back, and whatever position they're in, it does not involve them, and a caution flies, and they should be good to go as long as they have enough fuel to finish that lap. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here, Carl, when it comes to fuel, because I just don't know how much, do they have, how far they could go for one, and now that we have some caution laps, obviously that extends the fuel mileage, but how much are they able to save under those conditions?
Well, I mean, you figure that the fuel mileage is around 20 laps here tonight, and some of these drivers at the front last been on lap number 35. We're now on lap number 60, and we should be getting one to go this time by, but granted, we had quite a few laps under caution, but yeah, we're definitely stretching it here tonight, and some drivers got ebbing and flowing here on the apron and passing the pace car. Gotta watch out that they don't get a black flag for doing things they shouldn't. We certainly seen black flags switch up the order last night in the Hold Your Brakes Academy race, but this is going to be our last attempt at a green-white checkered. and we're going to get our winner here one way or another. We'll see if it's one of the drivers up here right now that's going to restart on the front row. Chad Coleman, AJ Roderick again to try and play spoiler here tonight, as we one lap to go, and then we get to green, white, checkered here once again.
Yeah, and Chad Coleman obviously being up front this entire time, and that's one of the cars obviously to watch. You know, burning more fuel than most. There is one driver that was in on lap 36. Actually, there's a couple that was in on lap 36, which could play big dividends here with that caution, and that would be, who's that? 36, or is it Tom? I think it's Tommy Rhyne at 36, and Caleb Collins 36, and then you have your drivers that were in on lap 45 that are good to go. Shayne Therrien, Josh Van Westen, Joey Cruz was in on 36 as well. Tilford was in on 45, so should be plenty of drivers that have enough fuel, but yeah, this is one of those things we used in fuel calculators to get you to the end, but you have to allow for these green, white checkers as well. So kind of a double-edged sword, Carl. If you take too much fuel, you'd be a little bit slower, but you know, makes things a little easier if these green, white checkers come out.
Well, we're gonna see who's got the hot shoe to get it done here tonight, who's got the fuel to get it done tonight. We're gonna see if they're gonna need a full run all the way to the checker flag, or we're going to get this thing completed under yellow. Green flag this time by, as the pace car is going to be pulling off again. It's going to be Chad Coleman, AJ Roderick on the front row, Tommy Rhyne, Jeff Rhyne, both on the second row. They work together here at the end. Caleb Collins, Alan Elwood, Shayne Therrien, Colin Flickiger, and Joey Cruz and Josh Van Westen for your top 10. James Molyneux, Dave Tilford, Robert Kenny, Jeremy Gainey, and Joe Thomas for the top 15. Really, anybody that's on the lead lap right now has a chance at this win, possibly, depending on how and if and when, where I caution could fly. But we're going back to green flag racing here, as back to the restart zone comes Chad Coleman. He is going to control it here once again. He's back on a loud pedal, and we're racing again here at Talladega. Nice little slow start there for the 138, just as planned. And wants to keep everybody right behind him. AJ Roderick stays tight here on the outside, gets a little side draft already. Shayne Therrien to the outside, looking to move his way up there. Going to get some help maybe from Joey Cruz, but they're not tucked up there close enough. They're going to fall back in line now. Caleb Collins looks to the outside to try and steal a win, as Therrien going to go to the middle and maybe push that middle line down the backstretch, hoping to get back to the white flag this time by, so we can get this race completed under green flag conditions. Back to the outside goes Therrien. Looks like Cruz is going to stay in the middle line and leave him go. Coleman leads him out of the corner as Therrien slides down to the middle line. That was close right there. Back to the line as, some pushing and shoving down the front stretch. 67 stays out of the way. Will we get a yellow flag? Is that gonna end it? It was right before, but it looks like that is gonna be the white flag. So we are gonna race back to the line. This thing is gonna be official, and we got Coleman leading the way. Jeff Rhyne, Tommy Rhyne, AJ Roderick, Josh Van Westen for your top 5. But here comes a big run here from Van Westen on the outside. Dave Tilford involved here, 2-3 wide now at the front. Kevin Foster in the mix there as well, bumping and banging. Tommy Rhyne through the middle, getting help here from Dave Tilford, as we got about a 7-car breakaway here at the front. Rhyne, and now Skosen thought to go 4 wide there, couldn't make it. Back to the line, Rhyne, and Tilford. Jeff Rhyne is gonna get it done here tonight. What a epic finish here at the end. Oh my, I mean, we have a photo finish camera, and it's exactly for this reason right here. And we're gonna take a look at that right now.
That's
out
crazy.
of turn number 4, you see the move right here. and they split Chad Coleman as Jeff Rhyne goes to the inside. Tommy Rhyne goes to the outside. You see a big run there from right there, Josh Van Westen. And oh man, almost 4 wide through the corner right there. As they come out down towards the tri-oval. And we'll switch over to our photo finish camera and slow it down and just wait for this beauty of a finish as Jeff Rhyne going to get it done here tonight on the inside right there. That was crazy, and we'll rewind it here and show you from a bit more of a zoomed out view here from the start finish cam. And you see the craziness right here as Jeff Rhyne just gets it done ahead of Tommy Rhyne and Dave Tilford. They're your top 3 here tonight. So Jeff Rhyne, providing he gets himself to the next 2 races here, is locked in to the championship round. We'll get these top 3 here in a moment, but wow, 2 nights in a row here, Jimmy. Talladega didn't disappoint on the final lap, and at least we just got to that white flag before all the chaos kind of went down there at the end. But Jeff Rhyne, not sure if he's got even enough fuel to do a burnout here on the front stretch, as I think the car just shut off on him. So there you go. There's your winner. Just stopped and waiting for the checker flag down there. But Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's finishing order, and we'll get these top 3 here in the booth.
Yeah, rundown of tonight's close battle here for the first race of the playoff. It's going to be Jeff Rhyne in the 34 sneaking in that win here over his brother Tommy Rhyne by a mere 0.03, and Dave Tilford in third by 0.035 from the lead. So extremely close for the top 3. And then we won't count out our favorite number 8, Kevin Foster, 0.06 for 4th, and then obviously the rest of the field to follow. 4th place, Jeremy Gainey. 5th place, 5th place was Jeremy Gainey. 6th place, Daltin Drummonds. Josh Van Westen in 7th. Tyler Skozen in 8th. Jake Loesch in 9th. 10th is James Malino. Dan Phelps in 11th. Paul Butler finishes in 12th. Terry Jansen finishes in 13th. Caleb Collins in 14th. Kelly Pointer in 15th. Joey Cruz in 16th. Alan Elwood in 17th. Robert Kenny in 18th. Bronson Stafford in 19th. Joseph Sullivan in 20th. AJ Roderick in 21st. Joseph Thomas in 22nd. 23rd, Chad Coleman. Shayne Therrien in 24th. Colin in 25th. Zane Bierman in 26th. 27th, Jon Crain. 28th, Cody Hemingway. Tough break there for the 78. JP Phillips finishing in 29th. Grady Gherkin in 30th. Luis Orduna in 31st. And Jack Stoneman in 32nd.
I want to thank everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in here tonight for playoff race number 1 of 3. We still got 2 more races to go here in the playoffs, and again, it's going to be Phoenix for tomorrow, or yeah, for next week, and then at Texas for the 3rd race here in the playoffs. But let's go ahead and get our drivers here. Looks like, well, certainly Jeff Rhyne is in here ready and waiting to go, and no surprise there, as he certainly wants to get up here and get his well-deserved interview. Still waiting for the other 2, and let's see, it looks like Dave Tilford is here, so we're going to go ahead and drag him down if it will let me. There we go. And then we're just waiting for Tommy Rhyne. There we go. Now we got all 3. So we'll go ahead and start it off with our 3rd place finisher here tonight, and that's going to be the driver of the 12, Dave Tilford. Dave, certainly a rough race for quite a few drivers out there tonight, as Talladega does provide. Left pretty much every time we come here, it's tough to get a really good, clean race here at Talladega, regardless of the talent out there. But here at the end, almost at a caution for the second green-white checkered there, but you guys are left to race it out all the way to the end, and you damn near got it done there.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. It was a fun last lap. It was really interesting. It was kind of beating and banging, just pushes left and right, and front and center, from behind, everywhere, and just pushing to the line, trying to hold her straight. And for the most part, we did. And yeah, just got beat by a splitter to the second place, and Jeff had too much of a run on the inside. I don't think I was gonna catch him, but yeah, had a nice run to the line there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you were in a Rhyne sandwich there, trying to get it done there, and I'm not sure what you could have done differently. I mean, you were up there, you made a heck of a run there at the end, and it almost came to fruition there, and you almost played the spoiler here tonight with all these playoff drivers trying to get the win here to lock themselves in. But I mean, at the end, you finish up here in the top three. It's got to feel good to just finally crack another podium out here before the end of the season.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Talladega's a crapshoot on any given night, but it does feel good to at least put the performance in at the end of the night and keep it straight and keep it over the finish line, stay out of trouble in the last lap, and you know, just be able to be there too, with all the things that can happen and did happen. But yeah, it was nice feeling to be up here talking to you folks in the NASCAR side. So. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. For once you finally get something done here on the oval side, it certainly hasn't been the best season for you in the Platinum Division, stepping up here with the big boys. But you get yourself a podium here tonight, so we'll see if the finish of the season can start coming around here for the 12. But before we let you go here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, just a shout out to all the guys coming out. You know, it's a rough race. It's rough. It's rough dealing with all the things that go along with cautions and getting in line and trying to follow instructions, getting ramped up and all that, and tempers get flared up. But really, I just hope everyone remembers why we're here, to have fun, and you know, we do our best. So everyone's just doing their best out there. So hope everyone can take the right attitudes going forward, and yeah, just have fun out there. So appreciate everyone showing up. Like I said, everyone for watching. I'm sure all the wrecks and all the crazy action out here at Dega at least makes a good show for the audience. And thanks to my family as usual, and thanks to you guys up in the booth.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the podium here tonight. Definitely celebrate it and savor it, because you never know when it can come here again. And we'll wish you luck next week out there in Phoenix.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, Dave Tilford, getting it done here in the 12. Second place here tonight, Jimmy, is going to go to your buddy Tommy Rhyne in the 66.
Tommy! Jimmy and Carl on the boot, copy.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, buddy. I mean, one heck of a race for you. Just noticed, like, towards the second half of the race, all of a sudden the 66 starts bobbing up on the outside, cutting on the inside, out the outside, and the inside. Man, you're making the outside work and working your way up through the field probably as best as anybody could here with all the talent up there. And obviously, towards the end, everybody's starting to feel the pressure to get that win here tonight. But you come down to the end there, that second green, white, checkered. I was worried about fuel for the whole field here, and what a way to kind of battle it out with your brother there. Finally some beating and banging between the Rhynes that come across that start-finish line, but he edges you out with that win here tonight. But give us a little run on your race, and what was your kind of strategy, and how was it working so well for you on the outside?
Well, I was really hoping that we could get some green flag stops, and that just never really came. And then I took a hard hit to the right front, and eventually had to use one of the fast repair. And then it was just kind of like tiptoeing. And then I was like, I've always had this theory that it's always easier to miss a couple cars than to miss like 100. So I was like, if I'm going to survive this, I've got to get back, you know, somewhere in the top 5, top 6, and be like in maybe one of the second lanes. So I went to work on the outside. Luckily got some help here and there and got put in position. And yeah, it came down to fuel. I had about 1.5 gallons, so I was going to be good. It was going to be really close, but I think I was going to be okay, even if I was going to be leading the thing. And yeah, I was just trying to stay beside Jeff and try to help him win. And then Chad ran out of gas, and then a run was coming big time, and they tried to, get around me, which they kind of sort of did. And then it was just a drag race to the flag stand, and adored, I forget who it was on the inside of me. I needed to try to slow him down so I could get at least second and not the win, and slowed him down enough where Jeff got the win and I finished second. So it was a good night for the family. We'll say that.
Jimmy, did we lose you?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm here. Sorry, I'm busy in two spots. Yeah, definitely an interesting race. Sorry, getting sidetracked with the other issues. But no, I just want to say congratulations, Tom. Obviously, you got 2 more races to kind of lock yourself in tonight, helping yourself out, getting yourself in them points positions for a run at this championship. So we want to say congrats as always, and that's number 66. I'll give you a little bit of time for any shout-outs you may have.
Yeah, thanks, Northern Tool and Equipment, and Jameson Custom Corvette, and you guys for putting on the broadcast, and our sponsor, I don't have her name in front of me. It's going to be bad.
Kim's got some more.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So that's 2 weeks in a row. I got to get better at this, fellas. So
it's not Kim Cupcakes. Yeah, at least you got that.
Yeah, I knew we were doing something with cupcakes again. So thanks for them, and yeah, let's go to the next one and try to finish this thing out strong.
Yeah, keep that momentum going up and hopefully get a shot at that championship. Again, congratulations. Thanks for the shout out. So I'm gonna let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher tonight, and second Rhyne in line here. That is Tommy Rhyne in the 66, but the top Rhyne here tonight is the 34 of Jeff Rhyne. Jeff, has your heart rate come down here a little bit? I know Talladega can get it going here, but talk about the run to the line right there. You had your brother Tommy right there. You had obviously 3, 4, 5 other cars all want that spot from you. You stuck to that inside line, and it paid off, but only just.
Yeah, it was tough. I thought I was going to lose the momentum because my teammate in front of me, Chad, he ran out of gas going right before 3.
Wonder what happened right there. Yeah, okay.
And I hit him and it took all the momentum out of the car. I was like, God, I can't get back in the speed because the pack's coming. And luckily I was able to hang on and got the push I needed. And then Tommy being on the top too. But
yeah, I thought, Tommy was going to be nice. He was going to be the nice brother, and, he's in the platinum, so he's got a chance to win every week. You're in the silver here. A win is huge for you and locks you into the championship now as well. You figured he'd be nice and help you get the win, but all of a sudden you come out of 4, and he's like, all right, screw Jeff. I'm going for the win myself.
Yeah. I think he just had so much momentum that if he tried to slow down, he probably would have wrecked me. Because he was coming fast, and he was on the middle lane there. So,
well, listen, at the end of the day, it all worked out, and you get that 34 to victory thing. But it wasn't by fluke. I mean, you qualified up there in the top 10, and you're running top 5 pretty much this entire race. You had that 34 up there, and you were ready to go.
Oh yeah, I had it rolling. I was like, if I could just stay in the top 5 most of the night, I'll stay out of the trouble and bring it home. So, and luckily we got it tonight. We got her done.
Well, you certainly did, and now you lock yourself into the championship as long as you're going to be here for the next 2 races, that is at Phoenix and Texas. So all you got to do is just show up, start a lap, and then just sit back and eat some popcorn because you're already locked into the championship. So congrats on the win here at Big Bad Talladega, and we'll let you celebrate that. But before you do, who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
Let me give a shout-out to the Unacceptable, my team. That'd be Tommy, Chad, and JP, and Mountain Dew as my sponsor, and you guys broadcasting. This is awesome. I mean, y'all do such a good job here in and out every week, and thanks to Core for putting this on. It's just been awesome this week.
Certainly, it feels even better with the top spot here at Talladega and finally cracking through for your first Core Xfinity win. So, congrats again on the win. Congrats on locking yourself into the championship at Auto Club. We will let you go celebrate. We'll see you out there at Phoenix.
All right, thanks, man. Y'all have a good day.
You too. That is your winner here tonight. not Tommy Rhyne, Jeff Rhyne, getting it done here tonight in the 34. So congrats to the entire Rhyne family for having Jeff and Tommy go 1-2 here tonight, and that's definitely a first that I don't think we've even ever seen that in UCRL, Jimmy, where even with Tommy winning and Jeff finishing in second. It's the first time I think we've seen a Rhyne 1-2, and it comes, of course, here at Talladega.
Yeah, I mean, it's a place where everybody is, it's equal, and it's being in the right spot at the right time and working with each other and staying out of them incidents and trying to do your best. We know that people get aggressive when it comes down to end. Everybody is trying to obviously fight their way into the championship. There's only a few spots. It's Talladega. Some people are trying to get their first win, whatever it may be. The tempers obviously are going to fly, but it's something that people need to keep in check. We're all adults here, and we need to act like it. I'm not happy at the moment. I've been reading some stuff, and I'm just a little. I
can see that. So we'll
a
let
little
you
tolerated. So
yeah,
we'll just leave it as
breather.
that, and we'll talk to everybody on the flip side.
Yeah, this is Talladega, and it's what can happen. I mean, tempers can flare just like it does at any short track, because the big one is usually going to take out quite a few cars here tonight. We had a couple issues here tonight, so we'll let the admins handle what they do and get everything squared up, cleared up, and we'll get a better picture of it when we go to Phoenix next week. And hopefully you join us there as well. But that's going to do it for myself and Jimmy here from the Talladega Superspeedway. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.